BattleHawk, written by Sean of Sarna.net, the greatest wiki there is. Read by Shrapnel. Jeanette Sauvage loved her job. As a sales rep for Defiance Industries, she got to travel the inner sphere, meet new and interesting people, taste local cuisine, and then try to sell them battle mechs for as much as she could get away with. Her latest stop had her at beautiful Finsterwald, where she would gamely attempt to convince the owners of Finsterwald's Springs Consortium that their private security forces would benefit from one of Defiance Industries' latest and greatest creations. Jeanette straightened her tie and quickly adjusted her coiffure before entering the boardroom with a wide, beaming smile. "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for seeing me this fine morning." Jeanette always opted for a grand entrance to set the tone of the sale. She wasn't here peddling the latest hover car or oral hygiene innovation. She was here to sell mechs. Mechs were loud, destructive, and in many ways utterly obnoxious. Nobody expected her to come in with a calm and reasonable sales pitch with facts and figures. She'd tried, hadn't sold so much as an actuator at her first two pitches. She'd since toned down the presentation, removing the lasers and smoke machines, but had kept her boisterous demeanour. "You're in the market for a state-of-the-art weapon of war to protect your assets. Defiance Industries has the perfect solution." She pressed a button, dimming the lights and activating the holoprojector in the centre of the table, surrounded by suits in leather executive chairs. "This is the BattleHawk, our newest, greatest design. Don't let its small size fool you. This 30-ton murder machine is toting the latest and greatest Defiance Industries has to offer." She clicked her handheld again, and the holoprojector swapped from a rotating image of the BattleHawk to a cutaway schematic featuring pop-out close-ups of weapon systems with statistics scrolling too fast for any human eye to follow. Recovered pulsed laser focusing arrays and street guidance systems give the BattleHawk the sort of punch not seen since the Star League, while ferrofibrous armour provides nearly twice the protection of similarly sized models from competing BattleTech manufacturers. Another click brought up an image of a commando along with charts visually emphasising the difference in ablative armouring. "And here's the best part. You can have 3 BattleHawks for less than the price of a single Atlas." Another click, and the price circled above the BattleHawk schematic just fast enough for someone to pick out the first digit if they squinted without being able to make out the rest. This little tactic always left Jeanette with plenty of room to negotiate. "So, ladies and gentlemen, how many BattleHawks can I put you down for?" A final click, and the projector deactivated as the lights in the boardroom returned. But rather than seeing eager faces ready to bid away their hard-earned C-bills, she saw each and every board member staring into their personal comms devices. "None," called out one of the suits, followed by a murmur of nods. Jeanette stammered, "Excuse me?" "According to this," the suit at the far end of the table, presumably the president and CEO, although Jeanette never bothered to learn their name, said, "The AFFC has cancelled all future operations with the BattleHawk due to poor battlefield performance." Jeanette snatched a datapad from a nearby suit and read the headline. "Disasters on Hot Springs? BattleHawk leads Robinson Rangers to ruin?" She furiously read the article before pivoting her pitch. "Did I mention that the BattleHawk will go 10,000 kilometers before needing a full service? That's twice as far as most battle mechs, saving you thousands of C-bills on maintenance fees." It didn't work. "Thank you, Jeanette, but we'll be seeking security solutions elsewhere." She stormed out of the boardroom, and just as the door closed, she released a scathing stream of epithets. "You spineless, short-sighted desk jockeys, you clueless datapad crayon chewers. To think I wasted my breath on a bunch of timid, credit-pinching corporate parasites who couldn't tell a functional actuator from a hole in the ground. Enjoy getting steamrolled by the next pirate raid, you uninspired..." She'd repeat the process later after receiving a full report of the Hot Springs debacle, which noted the 2 lances of BattleHawks undergoing service trials had all survived the disastrous battle and were returning to Defiance for refit. The immediate aftermath of the clan invasion had defence contractors of the Federated Commonwealth in a precarious situation. Demand for military hardware was at an all-time high, but much of that demand was being fulfilled by foreign competitors. Unbothered by barbarians at the gates, the Free Worlds League was able to innovate while companies like Defiance Industries were desperately pumping out refit kits for older BattleMech models. Concern for falling market share prompted Defiance to produce perhaps the most cutting-edge light mech of the era, the Battlehawk. Using both recovered technologies from the Helm memory core and combat data from the clans, the Battlehawk was intended to be both a showcase of Defiance engineering while remaining affordable enough for mass production. The Battlehawk's arsenal made it capable of dealing with modern threats, such as clan elemental battle armor, while its rugged design made it appealing to an armed forces looking to rebuild after years of intense fighting. The result, arriving in 3053, was relatively slow for a light battlemech. A GM150 extra light engine helped propel the BH K305 Battlehawk to a top speed of 86 kph, allowing it to keep up with most cavalry formations, but leaving it somewhat vulnerable to faster clan opponents. 5.5 tons of ferrofibrous armour makes it far better armoured than most 30-ton mechs, and a full head ejection system helps further ensure pilots' survivability. The Battlehawk's weapons further cement the mech as a team player. 3 Defiance P5M medium pulse lasers provide the bulk of its firepower, offering reliable damage at relatively close ranges. That firepower is further augmented by a Hovertech Streak SRM-2, allowing it to engage evasive foes while larger allies take on slower, heavier prey. Finally, the MacArthur anti-missile system provides nearby units with coverage against incoming ballistic missiles. For the price, the Battlehawk was an impressive machine, and it was expected that the AFFC would put in large orders. However, disaster struck in 3055. Defiance loaned 2 Lancers of Battlehawks, the 1st Robinson Rangers, to take part in a raid against Clan Jade Falcon on the planet Hot Springs. Due to poor intelligence, worse planning, and incompetent leadership, the Rangers were quickly routed by the 5th Battle Cluster, resulting in 80% casualties. However, the Battlehawks all survived. Looking to save face and finding a convenient target, Hauptmann General Mai Fortuna blamed the new and untested Battlehawk as the reason for the AFFC's catastrophic performance on Hot Springs. The pushback of the 8 surviving mech warriors was not enough to overcome Lyran propaganda, and soon the Battlehawk was considered by the wider Federated Commonwealth as a dismal failure. By then, Defiance had already produced hundreds of the new battlemechs, expecting sales to be swift. Instead, the Battlehawk was sold at a discount to planetary militias and mercenary commands. Defiance was about to shutter the Battlehawk production line when fighting broke out across the Federated Commonwealth. The Fedcom civil war spiked demands such that the LAAF was desperate for every available machine, and fighting on York, Tikhonov, and Thorin proved the Battlehawk's survivability in ways that wouldn't be disparaged by Lyran generals. Defiance attempted to redeem the Battlehawk with the BH-K306 refresh. This variant further improved the Battlehawk's survivability with a light fusion engine, while replacing the mech's arsenal with 3 ER medium lasers and a Streak SRM-4. Unfortunately, the long-standing Lyran preference for assault-class battlemechs meant that few pilots opted for the Battlehawk when heavier machines were available. Production of the Battlehawk continued during the Jihad, but ceased after the disarmament treaties of the Republic. In the modern era, Battlehawks find themselves outcompeted by faster, more powerful designs. Notably, clan-produced light omni-mechs have become increasingly common, with designs like the Kit Fox and Cougar offering a vastly superior firepower at competitive prices. Defiance continues to offer replacement components for Battlehawk operators, but with no significant refresh in sight, it seems only a matter of time until the Battlehawk goes the way of the Dodo.